Hi friends, we will now read a poem about the greatness of noble minds. We talk of noble people, how the noble people react to things, various things. An ordinary man reacts to things in a very emotional way. Suppose I have something, I get something, I feel happy. I lose something, I feel unhappy. I express my happiness, I express my misery. So that is the state of an ordinary man. But the great people, even when they have to take very tough decisions, very harsh decisions, very harsh to themselves, even then they don't lose their confidence, they don't lose their balance. So that is the type of, that sort of sentiment is expressed in this particular shloka. We will read the shloka first, I will explain the shloka, then again after going through some of the words there, then we will wind up repeating the shloka. I will read Vajradapi kathorani Mruduni kusumadapi Lokottaranam chetamsi Kohi vignatum arhati. Okay. So the poem says, it is comparing the minds of noble people with, say, two things. One is the harshest thing. The harshest thing is a diamond. It seems it is very, very difficult to cut a diamond. You get some special equipment to cut a diamond. So Vajra or diamond is supposed to be very tough. So the mind of a noble man is so tough. And then it is also quite smooth. Mruduni kusumadapi. The first line says Vajradapi kathorani. The minds of noble people are tougher. They are tougher than the diamonds. And then they are softer than the petals of flowers. Kusumadapi. Kusuma means a flower. You can take it a flower. You take it a flower petal, whatever it is. So they are softer than the flowers and then tougher than the diamonds. Lokottaranam chetamsi. Chetamsi means is the plural for chetas. That is mind. Manas also is Napumsakalinga. Lokottaranam chetamsi means the minds of noble people. Lokottaraha. Lokaha means an ordinary man. Lokottaraha means an extraordinary man. Lokottaraha. Loka is an ordinary man. Loka also means a world. Loka, it also means a world. Lokaha also means refers to a person. So Lokottaraha means an extraordinary person. So Lokottaranam chetamse, the minds of extraordinary people, kohi konu vignatum arhati, kohi or konu, it doesn't matter, konu vignatum arhati, who can know, who can identify, who can fathom, who can know the depths of their minds? They can't know. In fact, this is a shloka by a very famous Sanskrit dramatist called Bhavabhuti. Bhavabhuti was a great dramatist. He had written some plays in which, among which one play called Uttara Ramacharitam. Uttara Ramacharitam is a very famous play. So in the, Ramacharitam is nothing but Ramayana. Uttara Ramacharitam is after King Rama, he vanquishes Ravana, brings back Sita, then again comes back to his throne. So after that, then it so happens that there was some sort of public talk, let us say. Rama was a king, he was the king. But then the king, he has to know what is happening on the ground, what people are thinking about him, whether people are thinking about him as a judicious person, as a noble person, as a good person or not. So it so happened that the people who move in, say among people, for example, the spies, what we call Godhachari, some informant, let us say. So such person came and told him about what people were thinking at that time. So in fact, there was a rumor that Rama, you see, this Sita stayed for 1 year in an enemy's house. She was abducted by a Ravana, by a demon king Ravana. She stayed for 1 year and then this man has brought her back. So what type of king is he? So some such talk was there, some loose talk as we call. So the king Rama, he felt very, very bad. He knew that Sita was a chaste lady, and then Sita, in fact, he stepped into the fire, that Agni Pariksha, there was a fire ordeal also, and then Agni Deva, the god of Agni, the god of fire, he appeared before, everybody, and then said Sita is a very, very chaste lady, very pious lady. And in spite of all that, you can't stop people from doing this rumor mongering. So, but still, a king has to say respect the sentiments of the people. So it was a very, very tough decision for him. So the Rama at that time, he took a decision to abandon his wife. So to abandon his wife means to send his wife to the forest. It was a very, very sad incident. There is in this Bhavabhuti Uttara Ramacharitam, if you see, that Karuna Rasa, that is sentiment of Karuna, contains sentiment of pathos. So it is a very pathetic story where Rama sends Sita along with Lakshmana to the forest, asks Lakshmana to leave her in the forest. It was a very, very sad, tough task for Lakshmana. So he has to go, leave her in the forest, tell her, Mother, this is the say decision of the king, because the people are feeling like that, people's sentiments are to be respected, etc. So Rama as a king, he had to take a very, very tough decision. Though he loved Sita very much, and then he cried for Sita when Sita was say abducted by Ravana. So that sort of Rama, his mind had to become tough like a diamond. Vajradapi Kathorani. At the time when he was abandoning Sita, his mind was tough like a diamond. So like that, kings have to take some tough decisions now and then. If you see the story of another king called Harishchandra, in that story also, Harishchandra, he was a man who was standing by his word. And there was one Muni, one sage at that time called Vishwamitra. So he took a challenge. I will see that this man breaks his word. So he tested him in so many ways, and then Harishchandra loses his kingdom. He becomes a total pauper, and then he becomes, say, a watchman at the crematorium. At the crematorium, he becomes a watchman. So a situation comes. He was also a hangsman. A situation comes where he had to, say, behead his own wife, who was accused of stealing, wrongly accused of stealing. It was all a sort of made-up situation by this sage in order to test this king, test the honesty of this king. So at that time, okay, the gods intervene, and then they say, okay, stop this. And then when he lifts his sword, the sword becomes a garland, and the garland falls into her neck. So that is how the gods say ultimately appear and then tell Vishwamitra, you can't defeat this man. He is a man who stands by his word. So Vishwamitra accepts defeat and goes away. So anyway, by that time, Harishchandra had undergone so much of torture. So that is the story. So Harishchandra, his mind was such a tough mind. So he was a noble king, he was a Rajarshi, and then his mind was so tough, he had to take a tough decision even to say behead his wife, his own wife. So like that, so Vajradapi Kathorani. So ordinary people, they may find so many ways. They may find so many ways of avoiding. They may misrepresent, law. They may misrepresent the point of dharma. But then a noble man, a great man, cannot do so. So this is a very beautiful poem from the drama by the play of Bhavabhuti, just to explain how unfathomable, how inscrutable are the minds of the noble people. But at the same time, they are very, very tender. When it comes to showing pity, compassion, mercy, kindness, they are very, very kind. They are highly kind-hearted. And then, when it is needed, they have to take a very tough decision. So that is what is the shloka. So, Vajradapi Kathorani. Chetamsi, I told you Chetas is Napumsakalinga, that is neuter gender. The plural is Chetamsi, Chetas, Chetasi, Chetamsi. And then, that is why Chetamsi Kathorani. Kathoram is the word Kathorani. Kathorani is Phalam Phale Phalani, like that, neuter gender, plural. Kathorani. Then also Mruduni, Kusumadapi Mruduni. Tender, more tender than, more soft or softer than the flowers. And then Lokottaranam. I told you Lokottara is an extraordinary person. Konu Vijñatum Arhati. Vijñatum Kaha Arhati. Who can fathom them, fathom their minds? Who can know their minds? So that is what this poem is. We will repeat the poem. Vajradapi Kathorani.
Vajradapi Kathorani.
Mruduni Kusumadapi.
Mruduni Kusumadapi.
Lokottaranam Chetamsi.
Lokottaranam Chetamsi.
Konu Vijñatum Arhati.
Konu विज्ञातुमर्हति.
So earlier I read it as ko hi vijñātum arhati. There pathantaram, it doesn't matter. Ko nu vijñātum arhati. Okay, fine.